This is an SKS. Kind of a go-between between a battle rifle like you'd have seen in World War II and the assault rifles that came afterward. This has some features of both. Obviously it's a full-size rifle. It is semi-auto. It does shoot that intermediate cartridge, and it's kind of the predecessor there for the AK-47. The SKS was designed by Sergei Simonov in 1943, and the Russian version actually did see some use in the end of World War II. So you could say that Russian SKS is a World War II rifle. This is the SKS rifle, not this particular one, but the SKS rifle was probably very well used in the Korean War and then obviously in the Vietnam War. This is actually a Yugo version. And you can tell it's a Yugo version. Has this big grenade launcher on the front. The grenade launcher makes this a very heavy rifle. There's a lot of things added to this gun that makes it so heavy. It shoots that intermediate cartridge, that 7.62 by 39. That's common with that AK-47. This version, this Yugo version, is kind of unique in that it's got all this machine stuff up front. You'll see there's obviously this grenade launcher, but to have a grenade launcher, you have to have a grenade launcher sight. There's a button on top. Not only does this button release your grenade sight, but it also changes the action from a semi-auto to a single shot. So now I can fire single shot blanks so I can launch my grenade. But I do have a grenade launching sight. Very well machined, very well detailed. That just folds right back down. And we'll lock that in place with that gas cutoff. You'll see it does have a front sight, but it also has a flip up night sight. Kind of cool. Here you see that front sight. There's that flip up glow in the dark night sight. And then you have that big, we'll release this button. There's that big meter graduated grenade launcher sight. But another thing hanging off the front of this is this fold down bayonet. You'll see this, it's spring loaded. I'll pull it down, release it, it'll rock up, and it locks in two places. It locks here at the end of the bayonet. Also locks up here on the barrel, so it's fairly sturdy. It's actually pretty solid. Nice deep knurling on that bayonet, which would be maybe like the bayonet handle. Too small to be an actual handle. Not designed to come off the rifle. But very well, very deeply knurled. Just a lot of attention to detail, a lot of machining on the Yugo version of the SKS. Like the bolt handle has a very nice knurling on it, nice grip. On the safety lever, you'll see people complain about the location of the safety lever. Up is safe, and then if I push down, this now it's ready to fire. But I've never had that get in my way. Never really felt it. But it is deeply serrated, a nice grip on it. Another machining thing. The rear sight is graduated. Another machined piece. Very, very, very well done. That's a quality gun. I mean, you really can't knock these. It's not the Chinese version, obviously, but it's a really well-made, well-machined, well-put-together, quality rifle. Unfortunately, with all this, you've got the grenade launcher, the grenade sight, the bayonet. You've got that little flip-up sight. There's a lot of stuff. They have this heavy rubber butt pad on there. There's a lot of crap hanging off this thing. It's very, very heavy. I wouldn't want to carry this around all day long. But on the flip side, that heavy gun does soak up a lot of recoil, so it is kind of fun to shoot. It doesn't beat you up, doesn't really kick very hard. It's a solid, heavy wood stock. The wrist is very, very thick. I can barely get my hand around it. It's like overbuilt. It's clunky. It's bulky. It's just a big chunk of gun. But once you shoot it, I think you'll like it. This particular one is a numbers matching gun. Now you go, oh, big deal, it's numbers matching. Two different things. This actually has the serial number in 6 different locations. It's kind of funny. It's on the bolt, it's on the dust cover, it's on the receiver, it's on the magazine, it's on the trigger guard, it's on the stock itself. Like everywhere you look, there's a serial number, and they do all match. This is a numbers matching gun. It's kind of fun to feed these things. There's several different ways of actually loading it. I've got a couple of dummy rounds. These are obviously dummies, you know, and you can load it from the top, just like you would load, say, the top of a magazine or the top of your hunting rifle. Just single load, drop them into the magazine, and you can push one at a time. And this is a, you know, fixed box magazine, and I can load 10 rounds into it. You know, I can load a single shot or single round at a time. And then, you know, I have that. They kick the dummies out. Another way of loading this is with the stripper clip. Yes, these are live rounds. Yes, John is going to load these into the gun. It's a 10-round stripper clip. There's the charger bridge, which is actually on the front of the bolt. So when the bolt is all the way to the rear, it does have a charger bridge. The 10-round clip slides into the magazine. It's held in place by the front of that bolt. It's going to be held in there just by the push of your thumb. Shove 10 rounds in, and then I've got 10, there my stripper clips out, I've got 10 live rounds in there. I'll just eject these out onto the workbench, and now I do have an empty gun, as you can see all the way through there. Hey, look at that. It's empty. And the magazine's hanging out. The other way of loading this, I've got to say, I got a closed bolt. I could even have a round in the chamber. This magazine has a release in the bottom. I can flip this up, and I can feed rounds into the magazines by dropping them in. And then when I go to close that magazine cover, that follower will push them in. Now I can load the magazine from the bottom. So you can load it single round, you can load it through a stripper clip, or you can load it from the bottom up. Gone are the days when you could buy these for $79 at every gun shop. Seemed to have, you know, racks of SKS rifles for under $100. Like I said, those days are gone. They're not coming back. But if you're looking for an SKS rifle, you find a good deal on them. Don't look past this Yugo. Very, very well detailed, very well machined, very well fit, finished. It's just a solid, very, very, very well put together gun. Took it out to the range, fired it. I actually kind of liked it. All those years of, yeah, I ain't gonna shoot no Tommy gun. I do end up liking them now. The one downside, that grenade launcher just doesn't fit my rifle grenade. Guess I have to save that for the M1 Garand. But I've got a bayonet, I've got a 10-round fixed magazine, I've got night sights, I've got semi-auto fire, I've got that intermediate 7.60 by 39 round. Nice little gun.